Hi everybody, welcome to our weekend preview, Sun Racing weekend preview. I'm Tom Ball, this week delighted to be joined by Sun Racing's Callum Jamieson and Sun Racing's Mark Nevin to discuss the weekend action as we look at Goodwood and Windsor. Headed of course by the Group 2 Celebration Mile, which this year features, among others, Ben Battle, Regal Reality and Century Dream. Callum, come to you first. It's a pretty hot race this year, isn't it? Likely to be good to soft, maybe soft ground. Who takes your eye in this race?
Yeah, it's good to soft at the moment, isn't it? With quite a lot of rain forecast, so it might cut up a bit, which would be a shame because, like you said, it's a good Group 2 on paper at the moment. The top two in the market definitely the ones to beat, aren't they? Ben Battle and Regal Reality. But if it does come up really soft, one of them probably won't run, maybe even both. Ben Battle, I don't think they'll bring him back with conditions not to suit. Regal Reality, the quicker the better for him. He goes nothing on soft. So the two in there that I think actually like a bit of cut in the ground, Sabuska and then Century Dream. I prefer the latter of those. I just think Sabuska, I think he needs a big field, needs to come late. Not sure tactical race like this will suit him, especially if the numbers do cut up further. Century Dream is just rock solid at this level, isn't he? Reliable, and he looked a decent enough price on this. I think on soft is what I think he was third in the QE2 to Roaring Lion last year. Won that Group 3 at Newbury at the beginning of the season. I just think he's rock solid here. I think he's been a little bit overlooked, and if a couple come out, I'd probably advise backing him now. Might probably be quite a bit short on the day.
Good point. I think he's around about the 8-1 mark, Century Dream. Mark, would you agree with Callum, or would you fancy something else?
It all depends on the ground. It's quite hard to have a confident selection, really. I think if Ben Battle runs, and if it's if Saeed is it the okay, it's good enough for me. I think he's a class apart for me. He's a genuine Group 1 globetrotter. Regal Reality, revelation last time. I mean, he's been poor all season, but he had the first time visor last time. I'm not sure if it will work again. Usually it doesn't, so question mark with him. I think he will handle the ground, so I think he will run.
Think he'll handle the ground?
I think so. I've seen him run on Cup before, and he seems alright on him. The rest, Duke of Hazard, I'd be amazed if they run him if it's soft ground. He wants it quick. Sabuska, this is going to be a different level to what he's usually running, but he's in form. Positive, I don't think he's really trained on Positive, but he's one of my horses to follow this year, but he just hasn't trained on, has he?
Looks like they're throwing cheap pieces on him just to kind of try and rediscover something, aren't they?
I mean, I fancied him for Salisbury last time, but he just didn't finish his race, so I'm just not sure. Not sure about him. I think if Ben Battle runs, I think
they might just run him anyway, haven't they? I mean, you're running out of options through now, so where else would you go?
When he won at Newmarket last year,
it was softish then,
and he absolutely hosed up.
Yeah.
But he beat King at Comedy, and he's not really that reliable anymore. I don't know what's happened to him.
No.
But
it's in the madhouse.
But he was just at a different level than Battle. And
I think he should win,
should win.
Best horse in the race.
Not by far.
I'm going to, purely on the soft ground approach, going to go with Century Dream, hopefully. It'll be soft enough for him. And I think he's run 3 times in France, and every time he's run in France, he's run badly. So I'm hoping that run under Disfaham last time.
It wasn't too bad, was it?
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't Group 1.
Yeah, you'd have hoped. I mean, the horse that finished on 2nd and 3rd, like Stormy Antarctic, you'd have hoped he would have got close to that.
Pogo, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go with him as well. I think he's a decent price, as you say. Moving on now to the March Stakes, which unfortunately this year has only attracted 4 runners and is a bit of a disappointing field. But there is a horse in there who could potentially be quite smart, and that is Cabaletta, who has produced some nice performances recently, second last time to Endihar. She's taking on Subjectivist for Mark Johnson. Those two look to have it in there at the head of the market, and there's a couple of others in there, including Celtic Art and I can't remember the other horse actually, but
Subjectivist.
The other one?
Table Mountain.
Table Mountain. That's the one. Yeah, Table Mountain. Who's got a bit to find on ratings. It does look between the top 2 in the market, I would say. Mark, what do you reckon? Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't have the favourite, Cabaletta. I just don't think she's that good. Subjectivist should probably be favourite. I think he's second favourite. I think the Varian fillies, he's favourite.
Yeah.
But tactically he could get the run of the race. Subjectivist goes well from the front and will handle the ground. Definitely stay. So Celtic Art, he's a bit quirky, but I definitely think we haven't seen the best of him, and I think the trip might help. It's a very trappy race. If I was going to have a bet, I'd probably chance subjectivist to make all.
Yeah, you should get an easy lead, shouldn't you, probably?
Yeah, I mean, Mark Johnson's horses on the front, no one needs to tell anyone really, they're always hard to pass.
Yeah.
And he's the same really. And he's actually quite a good horse. So he should be favourite in my opinion.
Lovely stuff. What about you, Callum?
Yeah, not much to add really. I mean, he's going to get an easy lead, I think, in this, isn't it? It's going to be a tactical affair. All his best performances have come at sort of this trip and with a bit of dig in the ground. There's a lot in his favour while the others have got a lot to answer for. I mean, I wouldn't be having a bet, but I think he could probably win this and maybe run in the ledger. He's a big step up needed, but they won this with Sir Ron Priestley last year. He went on to run in the ledger. I won't be having a bet, like I said, but I think he'd be the likeliest winner for me. And like Mark said, I think Celtic Art, there's a race to come from him. Whether this is it, I don't think so, but one to keep an eye on.
Excellent stuff, Mark Johnston, for both of you then. Moving on now to the Prestige Stakes over 7 furlongs for fillies. Happy Romance after that win at York last week, and Pomelo head the market here for Rafe Beckett after that impressive victory at Newbury on debut. Callum, come to you first this time. It looks a case of kind of Happy Romance, Pomelo, Isabella Giles. It's quite a strong race, isn't it? And we've got that kind of thing of potential against proven form.
Yeah, obviously with the 2-year-old you get that a lot, don't you? But again, not sure I'll be having a bet exactly. I think Pomelo is definitely the most exciting one in the field. Could be anything really. It's a bit of a cliche, but there we are. I think she might be one for more of the long term than necessarily sort of striving these big end of the season Group 1s. She's looked a bit raw at Newbury. She won very well, was backed heavily beforehand, but a bit green still, a bit unfurnished. I think she's tall, leggy. I think there's a lot more to come sort of next season. Jack's put me off, sorry. I think she's best watched at the prices though. Happy Romance is definitely the form horse though. Should say 7, no problem. I think she improved last time stepping up the trip a bit at York, and I think she improved on the form from a Newbury win. Wasn't just being sort of a tied old sales field. More to come from her again, but I mean they're both short enough. Wouldn't be having a bet. I'm happy to watch, to be honest.
Absolutely. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, Happy Romance would be my bet. I remember Sean Levy said after Newbury she wanted 7. And at York she took another step forward. She's got an experience advantage, and she's just a filly in form. I mean, I thought she went through York like a really good filly, you know, travelled well, got to the front a bit too early, and then still found enough to win. She should be favourite. Pomelo, pedigree is beautiful. Dubois, you know, it's a proper pedigree, classic pedigree, I suppose. I was quite interested to see the quotes after the race. Beckett said that she's a bit backwards and she hadn't really galloped. So it was astonishing what she did on debut. Bentley said she wasn't out of 3rd gear, so they like her. So,
she didn't beat much, did she?
She did
what she can.
The visual impression, the pedigree, so you can understand why she's quite. Is she favourite? I think she's favourite.
Yeah,
so I just prefer experience, but she could be another cliche. It's anything. She could be the anything, and she could be a legitimate Guineas horse, which she'll probably get a quote for that if she wins this.
Yeah.
I think you got to mention Seattle Rock at the bottom of the market though. It's
another big price again.
She's quirky, isn't she? And she seems to throw her races away a bit towards the end. But if suddenly all clicks at once, you've got a big chance.
The whole family's quirky.
She's the right outsider of this, but
she was 80-1 last time.
She'll be one that will just win at some point. Everyone go, oh, well, you know. But
no surprise, but she'll be on it.
Yeah,
exactly. That's Goodwood, nicely done and covered. On to Windsor now, where it's the Windsor Hill Stakes on Saturday. A Group 3, always a good card this one. And features this year, we've got a bit extra elusive at the top of the weight, so we've got to carry a penalty for that win last time out, taking on Fox Champion and a few others as well. Callum, this is another good race, isn't it? Always great to see Windsor coming up with the goods. And do you think between the top 2?
Yeah, it's good meeting, like I said, it normally gets a bit lost, doesn't it? Because it's in the evening by then, everyone's a bit racing out after Goodwood and whatnot. But I think I'd take a chance on Sinjari. I was surprised at the price he was. The John Smith normally works out quite well, especially if there's sort of lesser exposed horses come to the fore, which did happen.
Certain Lad was second.
Yeah, and then he obviously came out and won the Group 3 the other day quite convincingly. I just think at the price I'd definitely be taking on Fox Chairman. He keeps getting priced up short, but keeps flattering to deceive. Extra elusive I'd probably have as the one to beat. I got a small penalty. Probably get out in front again. That seemed to do the trick last time, but will it work as well again here? Probably slightly better feel, and I think King Ottokar's far too short on what he's achieved so far. I know he'll have his conditions, but I think a bit more's been made. I think Sinjari's progressive. It is a step up, and he hasn't got the big field this time. But I'd just be taking a chance with him. I think it'd be fine on the ground, 10 furlongs.
Yeah, handicap going places, isn't he? What do you reckon, Mark?
Sinjari, I've no doubt he's a good horse, but he's one of them typical.
Me down.
Not quite. He's one of them typical handicappers or fringe group horses, but they need the hustle and bustle of the handicap, going through horses, fast pace. I'm just not sure if this type of race will see him in the best lights. But he's definitely got the talent to be competitive. Just not sure of small field. He might race keenly and all that sort of stuff. I thought Extra Elusive was the solid one. Penalty. It's never a good thing to have it, but it's only £3. He definitely got the run of the race at Haydock, but his earlier form was pretty good. He won his maiden on soft, so if it rains, he should handle it. I just think he's the solid option. Fox Chairman, he's going to have soft ground, which is evidently what he wants. But he's just, this season, I just don't think he's been on his A game. Albeit last time he did run quite well, because that was a good Group 2 at York. But I don't know what price it is, but I think he's about 13 to 8.
Yeah, something like that's very
so
short.
he's just a little bit short.
Yeah.
Where you've got Extra Elusive, he's Mr. Consistent at this level, and I just think he's the solid bet.
Yeah, Holly Dog got a bit of plus from the front, isn't it? I'm going to go with Fox Chairman just because I thought that run behind Aspetar, where I think it was a Group 1 horse is good in the York Stakes last time out, and he's progressing quickly. Thanks guys, really enjoyed that. Hopefully give you some winners there at home, and yeah, see you all soon.
Love it.